One thing almost everyone in crypto has been able to agree on is the fact that using crypto is very, very hard. Let's face it, we have a serious user experience problem. We talk about mass adoption all the time, but the complexities with owning or using a crypto wallet are way too much for the everyday person who just wants to save or spend their money. From having to save your seed phrase somewhere, maybe have you written down or risk losing access to your money, to losing your crypto to scam and not having a means to retrieve your funds, or having to pay gas fee for every single transaction. The list goes on. All these things I've mentioned and so much more has created the notion that crypto is for geeks or a sect of people and not for everyday users, not for the market woman out there, not for the average Joe who just wants to spend his money or even save it. I know we love to say not your keys, not your coins, but can this really ever become a mainstream quote? I don't think so. If you've listened to me before or you've ever read any of my tweets, you might have come across me talking about how I believe strongly that the hallmark of mainstream adoption will be when people use crypto products or use blockchain products without having to know about the underlying technology or having to be overly bothered by the technology itself. And it looks like ERC-4337, also known as account abstraction, may be the right step in the direction towards onboarding the next 1 billion users. And in this video, I'm going to explain what it is and how important it is to the crypto ecosystem. What is ERC-4337? ERC-4337, also known as account abstraction, is a new Ethereum standard. What it does is it creates a layer of abstraction between the user and the blockchain, allowing users to interact with the blockchain without having to manage their own private keys. This layer can be used to implement features such as social recovery, keyless authentication, and multi-party computation. I'll be explaining all of this in detail as the video continues. Basically, abstraction hides the underlying technical processes that account for the bad UX while allowing users enjoy all the benefits. But for you to fully understand account abstraction, you really need to understand how accounts work on the Ethereum network. On the Ethereum network, there are two types of accounts. We have the externally owned accounts, also known as EOAs, which are controlled by the public and private keys. And we have the contract account controlled by smart contract code. Users interact with Ethereum using EOAs. For anything to happen on the Ethereum network, transaction has to be initiated and paid for by a user using EOAs like MetaMask, Trust Wallet, and other popular wallets. And these are made up of cryptographic pairs of keys, public and private. These keys provide access to the user's account. Every time a transaction is initiated or the user wishes to carry out a transaction, the EOA signs the transaction and pays the associated transaction gas fee. This entire process with externally owned accounts or EOAs involves multiple steps and confirmations and can be very, very tedious for a new user who knows absolutely nothing setting up their first activity on a dApp. And by now you should know that a dApp means decentralized application. If you ever misplace your private key, you may lose all the access to funds in your EOA. You've definitely heard of several cases online of people saying they lost access to their wallet because they can't remember their private keys. This can be holding a whole lot of funds which you have no means of retrieving. This is a really big problem and very discouraging for a new user. Now to the second type I mentioned before, called contract accounts. These are controlled by smart contract code, so they do not have private keys. So now ERC-4337, also known as account abstraction, seamlessly blends the traditional externally owned accounts, which are EOAs, with smart contract accounts, blurring the lines between these two. This allows smart contracts to initiate transactions themselves, enabling what we call smart contract wallets. Account abstraction dramatically improves the quality of user experience with its several features. Simply put, with account abstraction, you are simply getting all the services from a real bank without having to put your trust in a bank. Some of the features account abstraction introduces is Number 1, no seed phrase. Removing the need for seed phrase solves problems associated with the loss or arc of seed phrases. And this is replaced with user-friendly wallet protection and logins such as two-factor authentication, biometrics like fingerprints, social recovery through a friend, a third party, family, and so many others, almost similar to the traditional banking practices. Also, account abstraction will allow automatic or scheduled payments, meaning you can schedule your recurring payments like maybe subscription, some of your constant bills, almost any upcoming expenses. And you can also set a limit on your account. Unlike the bank, you can do all of this while still being in charge of your funds. Also, before now, you needed it to pay for gas fee of almost any transaction. But with the smart contracts wallet, you can pay for gas fee in any token, and even beyond that, someone can pay for your gas fee, meaning a DApp can choose to offset or subsidize part of the gas fee of their users. Another major point with account abstraction is you can now batch complex transactions and decide to sign all at once instead of having to sign and approve every single transaction. This makes transaction faster and cheaper because you're not paying and signing for each transaction separately. There is so much more you can do with account abstraction around this, and I'll be linking documents to help you further explore and understand what is possible with this innovation. Also, account abstraction allows for flexible access control, which is a way for users to control who has access to their funds. And this can be used to implement features such as shared accounts and multi-signature accounts. For example, with EOAs like MetaMask, you either have to give someone full access to your account or they don't have any access at all, because for them to access your account, they need to have your seed phrase. There is no in between. But with account abstraction wallet, you can design a multi-signature system where 2 or 3 people need to sign a particular transaction before it can be executed. Also, there are options of adding users who can only make limited payments to a particular collection of wallets within a given time frame. So we can say ERC-4337 standard transform a traditional crypto wallet into a wallet with the features of a real bank. The benefits of account abstraction is a whole lot, and majority of it really centers around convenience, which is a major win for user experience. Features like two-factor authentication, being able to set monthly spending limits on your account, signing transactions easily on your phone, decentralized recovery of your wallet, configuring smart contracts to auto-pay bills and subscription, and so on. Account abstraction will be available on all EVM-compatible chains like Polygon, Arbitrum, BNB, and all EVM-compatible chains. Truly, account abstraction is the way to appeal to the next billion crypto users. You may be wondering, when exactly did this innovation come into play? The idea has been around for a very long time, and there's been several proposals before the EIP-4337. But before now, there has been no consensus on how to implement it on the Ethereum network. In 2021, Ethereum co-founder Vitalik Buterin, alongside other developers, proposed ERC-4337 as a way to implement account abstraction on Ethereum. The proposal was met with very positive feedback from the community and was eventually approved by the Ethereum core developers. ERC-4337 was deployed on the Ethereum mainnet in March 2023 and does not require any changes to the Ethereum core protocol. So if you are wondering how exactly does account abstraction work, first you must know that account abstraction has 3 main components. 1. User operation, which basically contains all the information needed to execute a transaction. Information like the sender, receiver, amount, and any additional data. Then we have bundlers. Node on the Ethereum network can choose to act as bundlers who picks up multiple user operations and packs them into a single transaction known as bundle transaction. Bundlers are incentivized to do this by receiving fees from the transaction execution. Then finally, we have what is called entry point. This is a smart contract that is responsible for validating and executing bundled transactions. And there is only one entry point on the Ethereum blockchain. So the flow for ERC-4337 is user sent a user operation to a bundler. A bundler aggregates multiple user operations into a bundle transaction. Then the bundler submits these bundle transactions to the entry point smart contract. Entry point validates the bundle transactions and executes all the user operations in it. I will be tagging article links I think can help you understand better in the description box. Truly, account abstraction opens up many opportunities for dApps and builders in the space by really improving the ease of onboarding users. We clamor for mainstream adoption, but transacting with crypto as we have it today does not have the convenience that is appealing to this targeted set of users. And to onboard these users, there's a need to shift from the complex, highly technical norm, and ERC-4337 is a big step to doing that. There's a lot to say, but I already think this is a long video, so I'll just link documents like I promised. And yeah, we've come to the end of the video. Thank you so much for learning with me again today, and I really hope you've learned something, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.